Fellowship Council. Hey, I am excited. God is good. God is great. We give him the praise, the glory, and the honor. I'm just excited about what's going on. Listen, you're joining the Christian Fellowship Council. I'd like you to call 2-3 people. Let them know the Christian Fellowship Council is on the air, providing great inspirational songs of praise, up-to-date community information. I'm Brother Willie Saunders. I'll be bringing it to you live today, right along with all of our contributors. We have our brother Tony is with us. We have our Dr. Johnson is with us. We have our brother Gary. Brother Gary is in and out, but he's with us right now. So we just want to give a big praise and let people know that we also have our Chris. I'm sorry, is that I'm reading the name on here, Claudine. Oh, okay. We have Claudine that has joined us also. So we are all here, and we are talking about some of the things that's happening. You know, Gary sent me a bill on yesterday and a couple of days ago, and I was alarmed. I can't believe this is happening in the United States. We're going to definitely get to it. But the thing is, I just want to welcome our Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson, how are you?
I'm great. How about all you guys? I'm doing great. I can't wait to the program start. It's a lot of great information. I'm just knowing that it's a lot of good things going on, and it's a lot of crazy things going on too as well.
Yes. Well,
in the
he
world.
sent me the actual bill, and it's. I read it, and it's true. It's a true situation that they're talking about right now. And for you that's just joining us, how are you doing? Welcome to the program, Brother Tony.
Hey man, how are you?
I'm blessed. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm interested in hearing about this. What do you call it? The Astro bill?
I don't know.
It's New York. It's New York Bill A416. New York Bill A416.
A416.
Wow.
Yep. I got it right here.
And they think
also,
New York is a crazy place.
Let's welcome our sister Claudine. How are you, Sister Claudine?
I am good. We're Brother Willie. How are you? I'm good. I am blessed, and I'm grateful to be here today with you all.
Oh, praise God. I know you're going to have some information for us before we close down the program, right?
Yes, yeah. I will.
Now, we're talking about a bill that will allow the police officers that they just passed our Senate just passed in New York, the legislation to be able to, if you are not vaccinated and you cough, or they deem that you are a health problem or you are a problem there in the community, and they can abduct you, they can pick you up and arrest you and take you to a camp somewhere where they can hold you for an indefinite period of time, and nothing can be done about it. And
let me read you the exact wording. It relates to removal of cases, contacts, carriers, communications, anyone with diseases that are potentially dangerous to the public health determined by the governor. So if you are potentially dangerous, he defined you as potentially dangerous, you get removed from society. Now, let's follow this through logically. Where are they going to remove them to? Well, they can't move them with other people that they deem are not dangerous, so they have to put them in a facility that's specifically people that they deem dangerous. So it's like the Jews in World War II. You guys are dangerous. They said the Jews were dangerous, and believe, if the Jewish population is listening to the show, you've got to make sure you call your congressman and say, we do not want Assembly Bill A416. We do not want concentration camps in New York, because they're going to have to. The more people they find, they define by their definition as dangerous. Like remember January 6th. People went for a peaceful demonstration. Some people walked in because the police were telling them, "Come on in." It was a ruse, and they've been in jail since January 6th a year with no trial. They're treated as terrorists, And I've had people who went there. It was a peaceful thing. This is what's going to happen. You're going to be, we're going to be.
Gary, can you repeat that? What did you say? The police said, come on in. What do you mean? What happened? What is that? I don't understand that.
There was DOJ and FBI undercover agents there that wanted people to come in to the Congress so that they could say that, oh, you're causing an insurrection. So they were inviting them in. They came in because they were invited. Now they got arrested. They put in jail for a year. They're saying they're terrorists. It was a total setup. The same thing's going to happen here. You're doing something that they don't like, whoever the people are in charge don't like, and you're going to be removed from society. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. To me, it sounds like that's a concentration camp.
But
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Gary, can I ask you a question? Now, when they move you, I'm just saying, hypothetically, are they going to have doctors and nurses taking care of you, or are they just going to put you somewhere and hopefully you get well? I mean, what is they don't define it. It's not defined. And what's dangerous about this is that it could easily be updated and changed to just say, right now it's out if you have a disease, but they could easily change it. Well, if you're not vaxxed, they could easily change it that you protested, you're a danger to the society. So now they're defining danger to society by their definition. Sounds like communist China to me. That anything that the people in power say is dangerous, they have the legal right to remove you. That's the bill says, remove you. So I'm just asking everybody out there, and especially our Jewish friends, this is concentration camps in New York. So we've got to get this bill 416, call everybody, and tell them to vote no. Yes. No concentration camps in New York. We'll talk about this.
No, I'm saying the government is going way, way, way too far with this. This is crazy.
Well, let's be honest. What's happening is they're using New York and California as test case.
Yeah.
Okay. They try to get the most radical things in the states that they know that there is not enough people to fight it. So they don't care if Cuomo's out. The next person that comes in is as a puppet. She does what she's told, and she's putting this forth. And once they have this in place, go ahead.
Gary, who are the people? Now you said it was a young lady. Who are the people who wrote that bill, or that you might know?
Governor.
The governor, but okay, the governor is putting it together, but who actually behind the scenes in this particular matter?
Well, it's M.A. Perry, whoever that is, introduced by M.A. Perry, reference to the Committee of Health.
Wow.
So I'm gonna give more information. I'm gonna read it in detail and share it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Gary, is this approved already? Has this already been approved through the Senate?
No, it's in assembly to be voted on.
Wow.
Okay. It relates to the removal of cases of contacts.
I mean, and they trying to sneak it past Willie and Gary and Anthony and Claude, so the people wouldn't know. That's why I said, who's behind writing this thing? Because the governor is just a puppet. The governor is a puppet in the thing.
It's satanic at the end of the day. You know who's behind that.
Yeah, but they're gonna have a riots. They think they're having riots. They think they're having revolt. The people are gonna come together, and they're not gonna have this. They're gonna have civil war on their hands.
But Willie, when you look at it, this is the prototype. If it go past in New York and California, now across the country, that they're going to start doing this. This is a prototype to see how the people respond. And once they respond, if it don't be good, it's going to be legislated everywhere else. I can guarantee that, as Gary said.
Well, listen, I got to go, but I'm going to talk about this in detail tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can get Assemblyman Lawler to join us. I doubt it, but I will try. And I appreciate you, Willie, and I appreciate everybody else. I think it'll be an interesting day tomorrow.
Oh
Very
yeah,
interesting.
absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
It's just terrible. It's like one thing after another that they're trying to do. You know,
Yeah.
trying to push the
Yeah.
envelope a little further, a little
Yeah.
further, a little further. After a while, we won't have any rights. We won't be able to do anything, or you know, if they can pick you up off the streets and deem you to be unsafe. What about the people that are dying from diabetes that doesn't have their medicine? All they need is their medicine, but the government has not decided that that's a health crisis. Or the people that just have, you know, colds or the common flu. Anybody can deem or whatever they deem is a health threat and lock you up, pick you up. That's just like, you know, driving while black in the wrong area. You know,
Yeah.
they see you, they can pick you up, and you know whatever happens, that it's like it's not a matter. It's not a big deal,
But the
and not
church,
bringing race in it. But that is so serious. That is
but
that
Let's
is that,
and
but the,
let's admit too that the people who are going to suffer from this, like we've always suffered, is mainly Black people and people of color.
you know
We're,
it.
we're the ones that are going to like have this thrown on us. You know, whether you have one COVID shot or two, if you don't have all of them, and
Yes, yes,
the Black and
yeah.
Latino community is going to pay for it a lot more than white people, I'm sure.
but the church has to stand. The church has to stand up. The greatest institution in the world from back in the day, from Martin Luther King. We have to stand up and start looking at things. And as we were saying last week, we can't wait to things happen before we do it. The problem is we always waiting for them to throw the sledgehammer at us, and then we respond. We got to start responding already on things that we know that is going to take place. We have to have a strong correlation in people together as leaders out
But
here to say, period,
Yeah,
that
the
what's going
people have to
on.
how
use their
can they
power, you
even?
know.
That's crazy. You know, Americans, they're a free people. How can they think that they can get this passed in America?
And
But
the
they almost
majority of the people doing this are white people. Not that, you know, like put it all on them, but look,
I mean, but they're doing it over in other countries, you know, right now. They're
yeah,
doing the
you're
same
in,
thing right over
yeah, in Europe, yeah, the
but they,
majority,
Australia.
yeah,
yeah, but they was trying to take the voting right in Georgia. See, they everything that has power for the people, they want to take away. That's the main issue. Everything that has power that promotes the people, the masses of people, we want to take away. We want to have the majority of the individuals to have the money out here running the country because they know better, because they have the money. That's where they're running. That's where they're going to. We don't make the money. We shouldn't be able to make any decisions. That's what
So
they're
if I deem you a deplorable, then they can do whatever they want. We don't have a voice at all because I've deemed you to be a deplorable.
Yeah,
and Black and
we have
Latinos are deplorable already. So you know we already have that against us. So you know it's really going to be crazy.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to get into that a little piece because of the fact that it's happening and we have to be on our P's and Q's. We got to be on it up front. We got to know what's going on and we want to be able to bring it to the public, you know, quickly. We also, now I have our sister Claudine, she's here and she was letting us know a lot about health. But she does a lot of other things. It's not just about the health, nutrients and vitamins and things that, but she does a whole lot of other things. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she has 2 doctorates or 2 master's degrees. So the woman is very, very capable. And so I just, you know, when I'm around her, I speak very little. I kind of like to listen. I kind of like to listen because you know she makes sense. So now 2 things I want to just throw at her. One is tomorrow we got a great. Now listen, we have also Tony. I think you met King. What is it?
King Melvin.
King Melvin, yeah, you
Yeah.
met him, and this is a guy that has been on all over television. He has awards. He has done some major things in the music industry, and he came on the show a while back. You remember our late host, co-host, Greg Hall. May he rest in peace. But he introduced me to King Melvin, and King Melvin came on the program. And just because he won the program, we had so many phone calls that day while he was there at studio. We did not get an empty line on the phone. Even after the program, the phones just kept ringing. I mean, so many people was calling in. I want to say hi to King Melvin. Oh, he's doing a show. I mean, it was like really doing some great things. And I had him to do some things for me. I don't know. I haven't been speaking much about the Clicksters program. But some changes was made to it, and I just some of the changes that were made to it is going to be a little hard to follow and hard to do. But anyway, I'm still a part of it, and we still get whatever commissions that we have coming to us. We still receive those. But the thing is, I told King Melvin to to get involved, and as I said, Gregory Hall, which was my co-host, he invited King Melvin. He knew him, and they started talking. And as I started working with King Melvin, this guy is one of the greatest marketers you would want to meet, because whatever you need, we started on the program, and we needed our first 25 people, then we needed 50 people, then we needed 100 people, and this guy on his downline, he was able to get 50 or 60 people right off the bat. So I'm trying to get him on with us now. I wanted him to say some words, because he's going to be working with us very closely, and he's also doing some pictures, new movies and things. I think I have him right here. He's with us. Say hello. Welcome to the program, King Melvin.
Hey, blessings. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. I was just telling our group about you, and about your marketing skills and your ability, and I'm letting them know that we're going to be doing some things together. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell them who they are. We don't have much more time, so we got about 10 more minutes, and then we're going to be going over to a program called Coach Up with our Dr. Ben Johnson. And this is something that I want you to listen to, King Melvin, because I want to interact with Dr. Johnson's program, and we want to be able to bring on different clients. So I was telling them about your marketing ability, how when we needed people, how you just went right out and got the people. As when he first came on the program, the whole program, I think we stayed on an hour long, the entire hour. Wow. We did not have a free line. And the time we answer the phone, the other one lights up, that line clears up. So you can introduce yourself, King Melvin, and tell them about some of the things that you've done, some of the things that you're involved in.
Well, blessings, my King brothers and my Queen sisters. It's an honor and a privilege to be with great minds, and I'm just so excited to be able to put my little superpowers in the and throw my little hat in the ring to see how we can join forces together and support each other. So basically, I'm an entrepreneur, been in business since 1977, and my heart is, I'm a singer, songwriter, musician, film producer, television producer, and marketing. I just early on, we found out that we didn't have to be so talented. We just had to put butts in the chairs. So once we found out that some people were very more talented than us, but they knew that if I came and did a project, they was gonna make money because butts was in the chairs. So so I've been doing that for a minute. So, and it's important to really, because you can't sell a secret. I don't care what greatness you have. Two people ain't gonna make it, so we just need to know that we need to have a plan where we can have a multi marketing strategy, multimedia, because it's the name of the game is who can touch the most people. So I pride myself in creating that kind of philosophy, just being able to, have people come out and support you. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm excited. I'm doing the pandemic blessed me because I've been able to sit down and finally write some books. They're coming out soon, and I have a spiritual philosophy called mind tuning philosophy. Your mind is out of tune, your world is out of tune. So, to make a long story short, I'm projecting that we could perhaps have this mind tuning philosophy on the show, and in a year from now, I'm working on a TV series, and that's basically it. I'm very excited about Willie Saunders. Came highly recommended from a good friend of mine that went on home to glory, and I'm
Yes.
just excited.
Yes, yes. Well, we're glad to have you, King Melvin, and some of the things that you and I have spoke about is just exciting. Now, he just said something. I know you caught it, Dr. Johnson. He
Yeah, I
just made
caught
a
that.
statement. Yeah, he just
I caught that.
a couple of things he said too.
Yes, it's a couple of things. It's a couple of things. I like what he was saying about the mind, because again, as we all know, that it deals with what goes in your mind, what's your dominant thought goes to your subconscious mind, which is a genius, and then it goes to your belief system. But I like what he was saying, fine tune, because we definitely need to renew. You can call it fine tuning. You can have different words, but it all comes down to changing your mindset.
Absolutely.
And it's great.
Absolutely.
What he's saying. It's
Absolutely.
great.
We have our sister Claudine, and she's there with that beautiful smile, and
She's a genius too. She's a quiet genius that knows a lot. I'm very impressed. I guess everyone is too.
Two masters. She is a genius.
Yeah, she's
I'm
sitting
deeply
there.
humbled. You're all too kind. Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about your background too, because she's working on some things here for us at the station, and she's doing. Oh my God,
she's brilliant.
She did something with our logo, brilliant. And it's just a phenomenal. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Willie. It's you know what you're doing is an awesome thing. You are working for God. You are bringing people together. It's a collaboration, and it just gives me joy to be a part of what you're doing and the lives that you're touching. So anything I can do, I'm helping Willie with some logos, some branding and media kits and stuff. So I'm grateful to have King Melvin on board, because together we do much more. And it sounds really good. The mind tune philosophy. I'm looking forward to the tapping into the books that he said he has available.
Yes.
And also to see the spin-off into television, what that looks like, which is, I know, is something that Willie really and truly is foundation is set on establishing and going further. And it also ties in with Coach Up and also my program, which is New Me, which basically speaks to the conditioning of the mind. I think we're all in agreement that how you condition your mind is very important, and it helps you to get to the next step, and it also affects your body. So my program is, creating mind, body, and opportunity awareness, more like how it is that we as a Christian community look at money, deals with money, and feels about money. And it is really and truly a conditioning of the mind, because most of the times we talk about money is the root of all evil, right?
Yeah,
we don't talk about the first part of it, where it says the love of money. is the root of all evil. So the little stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to, working and continue working with you, Willie. You are an awesome individual, and thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, well, I tell you what, she's the awesome individual.
And Willie Willie is awesome, but he just don't like taking his flowers.
I know, but
buy into it. He's a genius in himself, but all you guys,
these young guys that are coming out of prison, that are going into the initiative from our Dr. Connor, to me, I want to wrap my arms in anything that I can do. The churches that I'm affiliated with, the pastors, the areas, the states, I wrap my arms around him to support and help him, because I've had some of the guys from the initiative in my home. Okay, when this program was first starting, we were doing some things, and a lot of people say, well, why would you bring this? Why would you do that? But listen, the thing is, if you really got a heart to help people, and you will know, we got a lot of con artists, we got a lot of people out there that want to get something for nothing, and anything they can slick you out of whatever they think they're getting over, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, there's some people out there that just had a bad break, that just had no kind of hand up, not a hand out, a hand up. And when you get them, you don't understand where I live right now. I've had the young men come with their tractors. Okay, but thank God the property that we have got a huge front. And when you stand there and you see these young men jumping out of these tractors, I just came from Georgia. I just came from Wisconsin. I just came from California. I'm just saying, whoa, these young guys with these new trucks, these $400,000 trucks that were locked up, they've thrown the key, they given them up for, but we're going to talk more about them and the initiative that we're putting forth. That's where I want to give the glory to, because the point is, if we don't do it, we're forgotten about. Absolutely, we're forgotten about. We got a state of emergency in our community, and it's a secret. Young people are dying, losing their lives, but there's no big deal about it. It doesn't even make the news. Most of it doesn't. But ladies and gentlemen, what we want to do today, right now, and we want to just bring attention to our new program, our brother and Dr. Ben Johnson, which Coach Up is bringing us programming, mind altering, mind training, how to be successful in things what you are doing. So again, I just want to say welcome and thank you, Dr. Johnson. Program Coach Up.
Yes, my program called Coach Up. I wanted to say, first of all, thank you, Brother Willie, as everything that was said to you is just not enough for you, because you are a dynamic individual that got a great heart, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate Tony as well. Everybody I appreciate. And I just want to say first too, also, thank you, Father, for the opportunity that we have to be at this point and at this place at this time, Father. We are needed in the community, Father. There's so many bills, there's so many things that are being passed now, Father. And we need men, we need strong men and women, leaders to stand up, to stand up.
Yeah, how can I help you? Who am I speaking to?
Was it cold in here? Think she was cold?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go forward. The name of my program is Purpose and Potential. And what I had last week was talking about goals. And I looked at it and I was sitting there and I was looking at it. My son showed me TikTok, and this young man came out and he was talking and he said, these young women shouldn't be playing with my emotions. And so I'm listening. And then he said, my ex. And then he was knocking on her door and she opened up the door and he shot her in the head and shot himself. And I said to myself, my God, they showing this. But the problem was, to me, I called this session the battle of the mind. It's so much going on in the world now that it's a battle going on to reach our purpose and our potential. So now when you get set to change, all these other factors come into play that try to stop you from getting there. We talked about some dynamic information. I had self-talk, and some people called me, people wrote me or send me a text from some 3 or 4 different companies. And then, you know, I'm just being honest, they was Caucasians, and they said, wow, this is dynamic, this self-talk. And they wanted to say something to me. So I just said, wow. But I wasn't wild about that. I was wild that my people, which is African Americans, that we have to understand. And I'm not looking and saying anything about any race or anything, but I want us to understand that this information is for particular people, which are Black. But I'm not getting to no rebelness. I want everybody to know this information, but particularly ours in our community. That's why I'm saying, that's where I'm coming from. And when I look at that, and I'm saying to me that it's a battle going on, it has to be understand and understood that things are happening before you get to your purpose and your potential. It's a fight going on. So we got to look at it, young men and women. You can't commit suicide. The reason you're looking at so many things of that nature, you don't have a mindset for what you want to do. That's why I want to give you this information, and it's called repetition. I told everybody how I studied was repetition, study. And then I had all A's, over 40, 50 A's in my last master's and my doctorate class, and wrote books, whatever. But I learned the process from repetition, the God that gave me. And I'm telling you guys, when you get this information, you just can't see it one time, or when your pastor talk and say it one time. You got to study this. You got to study this. You got to look at it. You got to use your imagination and see what's going on that you can do, that you know that is capable for you to do. So the process is not only to read it, the process is to get this within me, within my subconscious mind, which I always mention is a genius and within our belief system. You got to say it. You got to get up and have it in your phone. You got to get up and read it and have a plan how you're going about to do this thing. And it's not just a talk and then 5 minutes later, I'm doing something else. Everybody making all these resolutions for the new year. They talking about losing weight. They talking about making money. And 20 days later, they already forgot about it because the old mindset had creeped back in. See, that mindset is going to always creep back in if you don't have nothing to replace it. And the living word is the only thing that can change your life from within. And we sitting here and we're playing with our lives, and we're not really understanding that the first thing, you got to desire. You got to have a burning desire to want to change. All this information someone's giving you, your teachers, your people on the radio, coaches, your pastor, you got to want to change to see yourself do better. And then you got to see yourself doing better. And then you got to have repetition, as I said. So the repetition is the key to this thing. You got to get it in you. It's hard to change your subconscious mind and your belief system by saying it once or twice. So I had to keep saying to myself, I keep saying things over and over and over again. Then I can see it by the living word is changing me and renewing my mind. So when I looked at people committing suicide during this season, I said, they don't understand their purpose, because you don't got time to commit suicide when you understand that all that God has for you. He predestinated you according to the word, that he already knew what you was going to do. Willie was going to do, Claudette was going to do, Tony was going to do. The king, gentleman called King, what's his last name? King, I can't hear you. King Melvin. King Melvin. Yes. I couldn't hear, so I just said it again. So when I'm looking at that, God already predestined that we come together. This is an inner circle of people that God is putting together to change the life of young men and women. And when I look at that, that's my main purpose. One of my main purposes for us to have information that they understand and be passionate about. Because when I come to them or I'm speaking in the individuals in prison, you got to desire this, man. You got to desire this, young lady. And you can't just do it once and think you're going to have it. You got to put your whole heart and soul into wanting to change. And when you want to change, God is there for you. So you got to have this information that's going to do you good. Like she said, the health, to get the information about how you eat, how you take care of your body, how you exercise, how you do. All that is a combination of wholeness that's going to charge you and put you onto another level. I'm a work in progress. Everybody's a work in progress. I'm not saying I know everything, but I do know what worked and is working for others. So, and I know that we have people who experience others that they help. So what we're trying to do now is sit down and deal with the thoughts. What are you thinking? And I'm looking at that, and I was looking at the young man. What are we thinking? The self-talk comes in mind. You have to program yourself. What are you thinking when nobody's around about yourself and how I'm gonna move, how I'm gonna get here? A lot of things are going on. People are depressed. People don't see no hope. We have to change that. We have to understand that when you see programs like Willie's and Claudette's that's coming and other programs coming, you have to call into people to get help. It's nothing wrong with getting help. There's nothing wrong with needing somebody. I needed somebody. Everybody needed somebody at a time when they was going through something. So we just want to let you know we're here. My number is 678-314-6027. If you need to call or you need someone, we all need help. What are you thinking? So we want to work with your thinking process. Your thinking process would be the process of what God's word. Why? Because the word created everything. That's why I keep speaking about it. It created the earth. He said the same word that created us created Jesus. And the same word, the word that we use should be able to create what's inside us that's different. That's why I'm in this one spot right now. I was talking about goal setting. I was talking about self-talk. I was talking about so many things. But then I had to take myself back and say, what are these people going through? Is it that easy to switch? Are we going through a battle? Tyson, whoever fighting, it's a battle for your soul going out here. It's a battle, young men and women, for you to stay in that prison. It's a battle that we just talked about, that they want to lock you up and keep you because you're sick. What's the next thing? If you sneeze or you spit on the ground or you look like you weird, they're going to put you away. It's a battle going on out here. What are we going to do? We got to get our minds together. We got to allow ourselves to understand. We got to bring our leadership together. We got to look at these things. We got to have people we call watchmen when things happen. Tell the community, tell what's going on so they won't sneak these things past us. It's so many things that are happening that's going to try to condition our minds. So we have to keep fighting. People want us to go back to 1930 and doing things and having the ways that they used to have. But you have to understand, you got to get your mind together. Because if you don't, you're going to get caught up in this whirlwind that's out here. That's what I said. There's two worlds going on simultaneously. Listen, it's the buying and selling is the world's way. Reaping and sowing is God's way. I'm on God's side because I see what the world is doing. They think they expertise in what they're doing. They don't have half of the common sense and understanding and wisdom of God. So we young men, we got to understand, and women that's locked up, you got the desire to be coming out here to be great. You got the desire to change your life. You got to take these principles, self-talk, goal setting, and understand even mastermind. I'm looking at what Claudette was saying. When you mastermind, it's a group of people come together. It's so many great people come together. In our days, our forefathers came together in tribes. When you have two or more minds coming together to talk about a particular subject, the creativity comes. When Willie and whoever talks and it's two people, God is in the midst. And guess what? God, you got these two minds concentrating on a particular problem. God is going to explode in that situation and give you more than 10 different answers because of the creativity. We got to come together. That's what one of my programs is, Mastermind. We got to come together, put our minds together with these young men. And whatever problem you had, Johnny said, I got a problem in math. Susie and Bobby said, I got the understanding. So we're going to sit here and talk about what you're going through. You're in the hot seat now. So now, since you're in the hot seat, you are asking us what you need. We're going to brainstorm and give you 10 different answers for the problem that you have. So not only is that for the kids, it's for the adults too. What's the problem in the community that we're dealing with? What do we need to do? What is the mindset? Because there's a battle going on in the mind. And put that problem on the table and let us get these great leaders. They don't have to be great leaders, just common folks that have an understanding, and let our minds be harmonized. We got to come in harmony. That's what it said in the Bible. You ever notice they say they try to build a
Tower of Babel. How did they do it? They one mind, one mission. They was building the tower. God had to come down and say, wait a minute, they're gonna be able to do anything. He gave you the answer because they had their minds came together and they was unstoppable. That's what we got to do as a people. We got to come together and see a certain type of information that's out here that's trying to put us down and come together and brainstorm. No Indians, no chief, just people come together that have a passion to understand. Let's set our minds correct. That's mastermind. The greatest leaders and the greatest people who have invented stuff have masterminds. We could talk about Booker T. Washington. We can go to Edison had a assistant. I don't know his name. He was a black young man. They came together. They came together and they created the light bulb. He actually created it. And when you look at that, let's bring the minds together and understand we don't have time to kill ourselves. You are a product of purpose that God has given you, understanding that what you can do, nobody else can do. God didn't put you on the earth to kill yourself. God put you on the earth to solve a problem. Young men and women that you're in prison, you might be going through some stuff. You might want to, because it's the holiday, get down and kick. Nah, God has a purpose for you. God has a plan for you. You just got to see it and understand it. There's people out here that love you. Willie loves you. Willie is doing some great, fantastic things with young men. And he just mentioned it about seeing them come with the $300,000 or $400,000 trucks. That's Willie needs to teach me some stuff, did. But we're looking at that and saying, this man cares. That's all it does is take one man can bring 10,000, 100,000. One man, they don't take a lot, but to have a heart of gold. Willie has that. Willie's a great person. Tony, Claudette, all these geniuses I'm around. I'm just baffled about all the things that they got in mind to do. But when we come together and put our minds together, God, you're going to see some things. And that's one of my things I had with the kids was the mastermind. We used to have kids in groups. I didn't know this, Mr. Johnson. We had the journals. I had the journals. They was writing it. We sat down with journals. It was 12. And everybody had a hot seat. What is a hot seat? You get to sit in that seat. And brother, you get to tell everybody what's going on. And we all going to troubleshoot that problem. And once they did to start seeing it, they were like, oh my God, did they meet once? No, we met once a week. These people start coming together. It was adults. I was in a mastermind with adults talking about different things. We just set the tone. Is this the first? This was doing 1,000 years ago. Our people, Africans, they came together as chiefs and they sat together and they came and talked about things. How they built the pyramid. It was priests and scientists and all that came together. It's some techniques that we can use to bring our kids up. It's some techniques we can use and principles. That's why I'm here, is to teach these things. That's what God has. When I have people that come in like Brother Willie and Claudette and Anthony, it's amazing because they have the same desire to see their people rise to the top. When I say our people, people say, when I'm not trying to be funny, when the Jewish people came in, they talked about their people. I'm coming in talking about my people. I'm not excluding nobody else. I'm just talking about we need help. And we need people to come in our communities to have an answer to this. I don't want to talk about the problem so much. Where's the answer at, sir? Where's the answer at, young lady? Let's talk about the answer. That's what's needed. It's too much talking about the problem for 5,000 years. Where is the answer at? Okay, we ain't get the money for reparation. Okay, what we gonna do? We got to come together with like minds and harmonize and come up with a solution to help our people, our young men and our young ladies. That's why I said it's a battle going on for the mind. Man, it's just not happening in the prison. It's happening daily basis of people out here don't understand who they are and what they are. When they passing a bill like that, you know what they telling you? Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't know your backside to your front side. We just gonna come we gonna come and do what we want to do. And again, as Tony said, everybody don't think that way. That's true. But for them to come with something like that, do you understand what they think of us? What they think we are, that we're that dumb or crazy and retarded to have something come back around. Everything's circling back around again. The Jews went through this stuff. We went through it. They're trying to bring it right back around and see, can we get away with this stuff? And it's not going to get away because it's not going to be the same. God is in the midst of this thing. I don't care what they try to do. God knows, and he's not going to allow anything like that, but he wants us to stand up. You know what God told me recently? And I'm just saying this. God told me to rest. And I said, God, what you mean rest? He said, rest. He said, he told Moses and he told Joshua to rest. What he said? He said, rest from your thinking. Our problem is we do too much of our thinking on what we think is correct instead of getting in touch with God and finding out what God's instruction is. I wasted a lot of my life thinking I knew everything. And so I started getting in touch with the word and God. That's when I knew the instructions that God had. God said, rest from where you think it ain't working right, Ben. You ain't getting to where you're going by what you think you're saying. Until I started listening and understanding, God wanted to use his word, his philosophy, his understanding to take me to the level that I want to. Only God can do that. Ben was trying, and Ben knew I knew I was smart and I had everything. But guess what? It just wasn't working the way I thought it would until I put God as the forefront. I always loved God and had God there. But once he taught me, I said, I could take it from here, God. No, God said, you need to listen even more, son. And I'm telling you, young men and women, rest from the way you think. It's not getting you. Get into the word of God and allow God to give you instructions that will turn you around so fast and make you money. He said, money answer all things in the Bible. I was talking to Claudia about this. Guy said, it ain't in the Bible. Money answer all things is in the word. If it answer all things is in the word, that means you need money. So if it answer everything, God knows that. He already put in the word thousands of years ago. He knew what we're going to go through right now. So guys, we do need money. We need the money to do what we got to do. We need money to make sure these programs. We need money to take care of our families. We need money to make sure that we go forward. We need money to put out the word when people come from the Congress who's supposed to serve the people, coming up with legislators to put us in prison. They're supposed to work for us, but evidently they think they too smart now to work for us, that we need to work for them. We got the wrong kind of service in Congress and congressmen that's thinking that we need them in a way that they're smart. So now we got to serve them. We got to get these people out of these offices that have their own mindset, their own way of thinking, and don't think about the people, thinking about just for themselves. We have to be smart enough as a community to start understanding this, looking at the track records and the fruit that bears witness. That's all you got to do is look at the fruit from what they have been doing. Quit falling for the okie doke of that they saying the right things right now. But through the whole time and term, they've been saying for 20 years the wrong thing. We got to have leaders. We got to have church leaders to stand up and say, this is enough of this. We got to go beyond the church walls and talk about politics and talk about these legislators that have things that can change our life. But yet we do have to have God as the main focus. When they told Joshua to go to the promised land, he wasn't saying nothing politics. He was just saying, this is your land. This is your land. This is your promised land. Wherever we at is our promised land. And God got to give us instructions based on our thinking, based on how we put things together, based on how we imagine things, based on our imagination. You can't go no farther than your subconscious mind or your image. That's why you got some people, when you look at them, they got great images. They see themselves. Oh man, this is like me. You see, I watch the sports, guys catching touchdowns with one hand. They already know they that guy. You got to thank you that woman. You got to thank you that guy. They have the information that you knew. You got to have the swag. Let me mention some stuff. You got to have some swag about yourself that you know that you got the answer to what is needed. And when we look at Brother Willie, Anthony, and Claudette, they know they got some information. They got a swag about themselves. When I say swag, they know some things that can change lives. And we got people here, as well as myself and King. I'm just going to say King right now, because I can't remember every name, that's coming together. And we got to look at that. The word is the answer. We can come up with all kind of gimmicks, but we got to put the word in process of that, or hear what the words say. And God gave us the creative understanding. God got so many inventions and understanding that the world has never seen. God been waiting for us to come and talk to him. Do you understand? God been waiting. The leaders have been leading by their own intellect. But instead of the intellect of God, David talked about that. David was a young man that understood God's mindset. and came at a young man, 17, and baffled the world, killed a giant, and became a king. God's looking for you to understand. Let me use your mind, Ben. Let me use your mind, Willie, Anthony. Allow me to come in and teach you stuff and tell you where money at. God knows about money. He got all the money is his. Why he make the streets of gold in heaven? That ain't nothing. Notice we walking on gold. That's the least of the stuff. He said you're supposed to be walking on it. Money ain't even a big thing to God, but he wants you to know. Allow me to use your mind. Allow me to let you to understand. Let the leaders teach you how to think. Because if your parents don't teach you, and you don't have that kind of teaching, let us come in and teach you what you need to know, and let God be in the forefront. And then when you understand your purpose, the potential is all there. He's waiting with open arms. Please, someone tell these people out here that Jesus is the way, but it's the answer to a lot of our questions if you understand and read what God has said about renewing your mind. So I'm sitting here now and I get it passionate because I see so much potential in our people that's in prison. Young ladies that's in prison. Young ladies are killing themselves, and young men. Young women are getting murdered, and men, because we don't understand what God has for us. It's time to stop now, young folks and people, period. It's time to get yourself together. Because if they pass like this, what else they're trying to pass? Get ourselves together. They're going to come in with all kinds of watching and looking at TV shows and looking at people that's supposed to be our superstars and our idols have babies. Oh, the baby looks so beautiful. Oh my God, you don't got time for that. You got time to understand who you are. You got time to understand that it's a battle going on here, not only for your mind, for your life, for your soul, for your community, for you to be thrown in some prison because they don't like the way you smile, or they don't like the way you look, or you too confident, or you the guy in the community helping your people. So we're gonna come with some type of thing to say you did this or did that, so we can throw you away. There you go. So every leader that's in the community, we just gonna put away and make up an excuse. They getting to that point if we don't grow up and allow our minds to understand what God has for you. God already knows what's going on. Let him use you in a way that nobody else can use you. And God will put you in positions that you never thought you could be, young men and women. I'm truly honored to be talking to you and be with Brother Willie and Tony and Claudette. And purpose and potential. These are the two things that I look at, that I say that we need. And I like to say this. Thank you so much, Brother Willie, for having these type of shows to tell the people, because it's crazy when you start in New York, the Mecca. They went to the Mecca in California to get these programs. Get this bill. Can you imagine if someone think you look sick? It's going to be something. It's going to be crazy. And nobody's saying nothing. Why did the church, everybody said, the watchmen on the wall should be crying out. The Jews and other people, we all need to come together and say, this is enough. This is enough, y'all. Yes. It's scary, but as we keep on bringing it into the limelight, let people see. But now, Coach Brown, you need to tell me and tell the people how they can get in touch with you. Some of the young men that are listening to you in the prisons right now, give them a site, give them something. We only have about 3 more minutes. So I just want you to be, and I want everybody to make sure you tune in tomorrow. We'll be tomorrow for 3 hours, and we have a long day. We have a lot of guests, and we want to go over this bill about what they are trying to do and what they are trying to approve, where they can take you off the street legally and put you in some type of a camp. Absolutely. I never thought I'd hear this. Well, my name is Dr. Ben Johnson. I'm a chaplain in the hospital. Also, I do trauma. I've been 900 hours in trauma. But the main thing I have is a program called Coach Up with Talent. And when I look at that, I want to, in the future, have Willie. We'll talk about some things dealing with some young men. And I'm excited about bringing some young men and doing some coaching things on the outside of this program. But also coachup.com. I just took the privacy off. Call me 678-3
314-6027. Look at the coachup.com, coachup.com, and you can see some things, and I'm getting it better. It's some things that I need to do more, but come and look at them. Call me. And, again, my name is Dr. Ben Johnson, 678-314-6027. It's some great information, as I was saying earlier. It's some things that I want to teach outside of the program that I'm excited about. But the main thing is I'm excited about young men and women that Willie have, that he's talking about too, because Willie's all.
Praise God.
As a pioneer and hold the brother, do some things on my own self. But we about this stuff here, Coach Up with Talent, Tuesday at 3:30.
Absolutely.
Come watch the
every
program.
Day.
Get the principle.
Absolutely. Every Tuesday.
Get the principle of how to self-talk, how to put yourself, self-image.
Yes.
How to do all these particular things I can teach you.
He's going to be back with us.
Okay, thank you.
He'll be back with us. Doctor will be with us on tomorrow. He'll be with us, and we just thank God for him and his energy, and just being able to help people, being able to help some of these young men, because we need it. We need 1 million people just like our Dr. Johnson, just like our brother Tony, just like our sister Claudine, because we need help in our communities. Our communities are being ignored, and we have to come in and take care of ourselves. Listen, I thank everybody for tuning in. I want you to tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with you on tomorrow at 3:00. Don't you miss it. We've got some good things. We're going to go over this bill with you. Also, we have a couple of people that's going to come on. We're going to do some interviews. So please tune in with us tomorrow. And I just want to say thank you, Brother Tony. Thank you, Dr. Coach. I call him Dr. Coach, but we got some young people that I want you to meet, and we're going to keep making it happen. And also, you too, Sister Claudine, we're going to have your program tomorrow, so we want to know what's going on and what you're working on.
What time is your program tomorrow?
Tomorrow it's 5:15.
Okay, we're gonna have to listen
to have some
the
other times too.
Okay, we got to listen to these geniuses out here. Okay.
Yes. God bless. We love you.
God bless.
God bless.
God bless.